Hello and welcome to the 2023 NPL Victoria Women's Final here at the home of the Matildas. This evening we've got the premiers, FC Bulleen Lions, taking on the third place South Melbourne here. I'm excited and obviously got to thank proud sponsors Senol for this game. Katrine, my nerves. I'm getting nervous thinking about this game. I'm Pakua Frimpong, obviously lucky enough to join by Christina Hall from Boroondara. How are you feeling heading to South? Obviously, you guys missed out on finals, but you're happy to be here?
Absolutely. I mean, what a beautiful facility here. I mean, home of Matildas. Who wouldn't want to be here?
Exactly. Who wouldn't want to be here? And obviously as well, joined by Oscar Rutherford, NPL Victoria commentator. Oscar, big game between these two sides. Are these the two teams you expected to be here?
Probably, Pakura. I mean, they're two giant clubs in the context of Victorian football. I've offended Christina already. But Boroondara were a wonderful team throughout the whole season. But South Melbourne, the consistency that they showed, it came through in the end. In Bulleen, I mean, just look at the players on their team. They're a stacked squad and they've got quality all over the park.
No, they certainly do have quality. And you know what? It's perfect time when you mention quality, perfect time to go through the starting 11. We'll go through the FC Bulleen Lions starting 11 today. In goals, as always, Gabby Garton. They've got Paige Joyce and Alana Byrne anchoring that midfield. Aroha Little, we expect to play as a fullback as she did last week. Beatty Goad, Maya Markovsky comes back into the starting 11 after being on the bench last week. TJ Vlanich is also in, Katie Beck, Rosie Roger, Jessica Young and Alana Yanchevsky. So the starting 11 we predicted for Bulleen and we would have expected?
Oh, look, I'm pretty sure they have everybody that can play anywhere on that squad. So Caitlin has a hard job week in and week out choosing her starting lineup. So
the only real difference, Oscar, is that obviously Claudia Mircic, who scored the winning goal last week, is unavailable through injury. How big of a loss is that for Bulleen?
Well, the backline as a whole has really been decimated for Bulleen over these final few weeks of the season, and that's really tough for Caitlin Friend. We were looking, Pakua, compared to last time they played South, 3 of the 4 back 4 aren't playing tonight for Bulleen. So Mircic is one of a series of losses, but as Christina said, they've got the players who can adapt and play different positions, so I'm sure they'll come out with a pretty set game plan and hopefully for their sake be able to execute too.
Yeah, and not to mention TJ Vlanich is going to play most likely at centre back with Mircic unavailable as well. So we'll go through the South Melbourne starting 11 as well. So in goals, Miranda Templeman, Danielle Wise is up top, Sophie Papastanis, Akisha Sandu, Taylor Christensen, Misha Westland, Dragana Klejc, and back into the starting 11, Letitia McKenna, who wasn't there last week. Brianne Reid is the centre of that defence. Got Leah Varley and Franny Iamano playing out on the wing. When you hear those thoughts of that starting 11, not too many changes. Only Yana Lawson goes to the bench and Letitia McKenna comes back into that midfield. A really strong side from South Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. Letitia's, we didn't get to see much of her last week, but the experience there is going to really help South Melbourne in that middle. So
Totally agree. I mean, Letitia McKenna, what a huge inclusion. Their midfield's been one of their greatest strengths throughout the season, South Melbourne. And to have Letitia McKenna, such a quality player, the drive she'll provide from the middle, I think will make them an even better team.
No, it certainly will. We saw her play for Melbourne City during the A-League women's season last year, so a really big inclusion for them. We'll go back to Bulleen, because obviously, as we see their starting 11 on the screen at the moment, they've had an interesting season. They weren't going to finish top of the... I don't want to bring up some bad memories for you.
I'm good.
But obviously they pipped you to the post and got the premiership at the end. But their record against the top 6 hasn't been all so rosy, because they've got 5 wins and 6 draws, and they've
Brown, the substitute, her first involvement. She sends it across, and Janchevsky almost flicks it on. Roger arriving
big
too.
Games, right?
Roger still going. Rosie Roger, she deserves a goal and she gets one. Of course, in midfield today for
results are not there.
Southern.
They're lacking the finishing,
and one of their 2 shots on target as well.
So that says something.
She and her teammates have got more work to do at the other end.
Bulleen last week, they beat Calder United, a team that's had such a hold over them. They lost to them in the Nike FC Cup. They lost them in last year's grand final. But how big of that is that for them, Oscar? Getting over them in the semi-finals and now in the grand final again?
Well, it's something that's so hard to say from the outside, but you could see from the reaction of the players how much it meant to them to finally beat Calder, and especially in a big game like a semi-final. It was the set pieces that got them through. The set pieces are crucial to everything that Bulleen do, both in attacking and a defensive sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if they played a big part again tonight.
No, absolutely, but Bulleen have got a lot of key players. We spoke a little bit about Alana Yanchevsky up front and Paige Joyce in the midfield. How crucial are those kinds of players to get Bulleen over the line today?
the more they're on the ball,
Will
the
be
more they're
replaced
dictating
by
play,
Eden
and the more
McKeon.
that they dictate play, South
Made
can't
her
score.
debut.
So as long as they can keep that ball and move it quickly from side to side, forward, they should be able to handle whatever is thrown back at them, regardless if they have the ball or don't have the ball.
A really big battle that's going to occur will be between Brianne Reid and Maya Markowski and Alana Janchevsky. Brianne Reid in that centre of the South Melbourne defence. How crucial is that to dictate who wins this game and who goes home a little bit unhappy?
Well, we were speaking before the game, weren't we, about how good Brianne Reid's been this season. I know that Christina can attest to what a quality player she is, both in a defensive sense, but also starting attacks for South Melbourne. The last time these two teams played, Brianne Reid started South Melbourne's goal. So she can do it all, really. She's been an incredible recruit and a big part of why South Melbourne have really taken that step to the next level. But you mentioned players like Alana Janchevsky. I mean, she can do anything at any moment. She can score goals from anywhere on the pitch. That'll be a really fascinating battle, which I think will play a big role in determining the winner tonight.
It will, and also we touch on, let's go to South Melbourne a little bit. Obviously, Taylor Christensen had a great season. Danielle Wise also an incredible season, scoring 14 goals. Only your teammate, Courier Aquino, keeping her out of that golden boot chance. But obviously South Melbourne beat you guys last week. What about them makes them so difficult to play against?
They know how to use the width, and when they can use the width and they can attack at speed, that's scary defensively. It's hard to handle. So it'll be
she's got the ball in the
contest
box,
for the Bulleen back line to see how they can handle that.
Equalizes
like you said,
for
Wise
Bulleen
is coming in from that
Lions.
midfield position. Again, she can play it up top. Whatever's needed, she'll step right up. And it's dangerous, very dangerous.
Well, South Melbourne have been a team you've been really impressed with throughout the entire season, Oscar. What about them makes them so important in this league, but also so dominant at times when they're on the ball?
I love the way that the different phases of play connect with each other. They've got players in every part of the pitch who connect the team together, whether that's Taylor Christensen showing for the ball and really inviting the midfield into those attacking thirds, or the likes of Letitia McKenna pushing up and driving forward. So it's a really cohesive system. It's beautiful to watch when it works, and hardly a team's been able to stop them when they really get going. The question is whether they'll be able to do that on such a big occasion like tonight.
It is a big occasion, and it's their first grand final in 5 years. Obviously, we've had COVID interrupting this, and obviously something that makes this grand final a little bit more special is because the last time the South Melbourne were in the final, they were playing against Bulleen, and they'll be hoping that the fortune favours them this time. But Oscar, you'll be down there on the touchline, and we'll be coming to you on the boundary. So hopefully you can keep your eyes peeled and let us know what's going on down there. And obviously, lucky enough to be joined by Christina Hall in the commentary booth. Christina, score predictions before we go.
I got to give it to South. I think South's going to win 2-1. I'm hoping for goals, so that's the prediction.
That is the key, always goals. And Oscar, before we go, your score prediction?
It's hard to disagree with the expert. I mean, Bulleen have been decimated by injuries and absences, so it's going to be really tough for them to come out on top tonight. But equally, they showed last week what character and grit they've got.
No, they certainly have. And well, it's going to be the end of this pre-match show, but stick around because the game is not too far away. I'm Pure Frimpong, and I'll be on the call. But we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll be back for some action. Burundara. Christina, how are you?
I'm doing great.
It's fantastic to have you here and fantastic to be here on the most important occasion for the NPL Victoria Women's calendar. And this evening's contest is between the FC Bulleen Lions and South Melbourne. I do believe we're going to have the national anthem just before we get underway. So we'll just pause for a moment. And as both teams do the obligatory handshakes before the game, it is the biggest occasion on the NPL Victoria Women's calendar, as I mentioned. And both these teams have worked extremely hard all season to get to this point. FC Bulleen Lions defeating Calder United, a team that have had the upper hand of them for so long, to get themselves into this grand final. And for South Melbourne, I don't want to mention it again, but they did beat Burundara last week in the semi-final to get themselves to this point. So it is the Premiers taking on third place South Melbourne. This promises to be an exciting game for both teams. And, well, we just got some time. I'll go through the starting 11, and we'll go with the FC Bulleen Lions first. Only one change in their starting 11. So in goals, they got Gabby Garton, Paige Joyce, Alana Byrne, Aroha Little, Beattie Goad, Maya Markowski comes into the starting 11 for Claudia Miocic, who is unavailable through injury. TJ Vlanich will play in centre-back in replacement of Miocic. Katie Beck, Rosie Roger, Jess Young, and Alana Yancheski. That makes up the starting 11 for the FC Bulleen Lions this evening. And for South Melbourne, in goals is Miranda Templeman. Up front, they've got Danielle Wise, Sophie Papasanis, Akeisha Sandu, Taylor Christensen, Misha Westland, Gagana Klajic. Letitia McKenna comes back into the starting 11, and Yana Lawson heads to the bench. Brianne Reid will be the centre of that defence, been so important throughout the entire season. Leia Varley and Franny Iamano close out the starting 11 for South Melbourne. It does look like the rain, it's held off for most of the day, but it is gone, and it's starting just a little bit. And it will be South Melbourne who will get us underway for this grand final. Our referee for this evening's contest is Caitlin Williams. Such an experienced referee. Have this game in check, and we're not too far away from getting started. And we're underway here for the 2023 NPL Women's Victoria Final. And that pass is Wise. Got Iamano out wide. Now McKenna picks it up in a dangerous area, and a wide shot.
Why not?
Always
Why
going
not?
wide.
Start strong.
Now, we'll probably start with South Melbourne because you're very familiar with this side. In this game, what is going to be the key for them to get the win over Bulleen, who probably walk into this game as favourites, just if we look at the players that they have available, as Bulleen struggle just a little bit to get out of defence, but finds Markowski. Iamano now it's going out of play and gives you time.
As you can see, a little press goes a long way. So I think that if South can really work together on pressing hard and quickly, and winning the ball high up the field, they have a really good chance of getting that goal first.
And McKenna.
As you can see, McKenna taking the shot in the first, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Got Akeisha Sandu out wide. Akeisha Sandu is captain of South Melbourne, and I think it's one of my favourite things about Akeisha Sandhu is her family is so loud during the games. At the semi-final last week, they were fantastic, bringing lots of atmosphere and energy. So I think if you hear a lot of noise, it might be Akeisha Sandhu's family, and I think we should all follow in their footsteps. McKenna. And just South Melbourne now get to control the pace of this game. Silas Iamano playing it back. It's the path of Varley. He's just got to go back and track it. First opportunity here for Miranda Templeman.
Could there be an opportunity to receive that to go forward?
Yeah.
Versus now being in your defensive third.
Such a team that going to be Brianne Reid slips there, but that ball searching for Taylor Christensen, who's been so lively throughout this season. 10 goals to her name. We've got 2 players in double digits. South Melbourne, Danielle Wise on 14, Christensen on 10. It's a little bit different for Bulleen. Don't have a single player in double digits in the league. Marnie Yancheski is the closest with 7 goals so far. For Bulleen, on the other hand, how do they go about winning this game? Obviously, their defence is a little bit short-handed. Last time these two teams faced, 3 of the back 4 wasn't what it looks like today. They're missing Miocic, Natoli, Moldiri as well. But for Bulleen, such an experienced and talented team, how do they get the win this evening?
Very similar. If you can attack these outside backs for South, if Bulleen can get their outside backs getting forward and overloading into the attack, that's going to put a lot of strain on the 2 center backs for South. So hopefully that we can see them.
Papasana sends that ball in, and in the path of Wise, just couldn't get her head clearly on it. So Garton collects.
Yeah, just getting that overload and keeping the ball.
Pass from Garton out just wasn't what it needed to be, but Connie Yamano just narrowly got a toe to it and just saves Bulleen. Stuck in their defensive end. Goad to throw it in. Markowski. So Markowski now Goad able to get a flick on, but it's coming back the other way, and it's going to go out for another Bulleen throw in.
I'd like to see a little bit more keeping the ball. It is a little wet out there, so we got to adjust our passing. But as you can see, it does stay in play. Hopefully.
There's something about this pitch that's a little bit different, obviously, to the other NPL Victoria grounds. This is a significantly larger pitch to play on. Bulleen have obviously played here once before in the Nike FC Cup final, so this is the first time for South out here. Is that going to be a really big factor in this game in terms of how the fatigue levels?
Size of the pitch? It depends on if they can utilize it, definitely. And not to mention that this is a hybrid pitch where it's a combination of natural turf and AstroTurf. So it's just a slick surface, and that's why you can see the ball skidding right through.
Reid. Papasanis. Got Iamano and aims for her, but got way too central with that pass. But Garden likes to save it before it goes out for a goal kick. Vlanic. Straight to the feet of Iamano, who's able to break away for South Melbourne. McKenna making that run forward, and pass not what it needed to be. So, Young, strong there to Roger. Flicks the flick on. No maroon shirts in the path. So, again, South Melbourne, another chance to attack. Christensen does look to keep the ball in play. She manages to, but only wins her side a throw in. Akeisha Sandhu to take the throw in. Klajic back to Sandhu. Sandhu's done well to find her one into space, and that strike straight at Katie Beck. And Brianne Reid up against Alana Yancheski. That's going to be a really important contest throughout the entirety of the game.
Reid does a really good job of getting herself in between that ball and the attacker. So if Alana wants to get around that, got to find ways.
A flick on. Wise unable to get there in time, and Garton was early off her line. So Bulleen the other way. Byrne. Roger trying to find a teammate in support, but still Roger retains possession and just straight down. There was nobody there. South Melbourne had blocked off all the space. Westland. Here we go with Varley, and that pass loose straight at the face of Zoyce. Tries to play it through, but Varley was there to make up for her mistake. So Sandu, Christensen, got Wise up ahead, and Iamano available for the switch, elects to retain possession. Still Christensen. Now that pass split between Papastanis and Malkovsky. Iamano there to back her teammate up and looked to be fouled by a go, but it's going to be only a throw in for South Melbourne. Early stages of this game. What have you made of it so far?
Right now it's pretty end to end. It looks like South has had a little bit more of the control, and they've had at least 2 shots on target, or one was deflected, but one was slightly wide. And at least they're taking those opportunities. And we haven't yet to see Bulleen get in the attacking third. So let's hope that they can keep that ball and get Zoe on that ball a little bit more to kind of help dictate them get forward.
Vlanic just skins Danielle Wise as Vlanic plays it forward to Markovsky. Good control. Got Young in support. Left a little bit short for her and left a lot of work. And it's going to be a South Melbourne throw-in.
Markovsky potentially could bring that down, turn herself. She looks over her shoulder. She's got so much time and space.
Certainly does, and it's all about those wingers and midfielders getting involved for Bulleen. Varley trying to switch it out to Wise and missed there by a little. So now Christensen. Wise trying to collect it in time, and Sandu can't save it before it goes out of play. So it will be a Bulleen throw in. And mentioned in the pre-match show, this is South Melbourne's return to the grand final after 5 years. Obviously, COVID interrupted. The last time they were playing in the final, they did face the FC Bulleen Lions, and a few familiar faces were in that. Caitlin Friend, the coach of Bulleen this evening, as Bulleen make the break forward. And Chevsky, loose touch there. Klajic. And South able to regain possession, but Caitlin Friend was playing and she scored in the last time these two sides played in a grand final. You're familiar with Bulleen, having played with them in 2019?
Yeah, short stint. It was nice to get into a final, and we played against Calder, I believe. Yep. And who doesn't like playing at Amy Park, right?
It's not too bad at all.
Although the maroon made my skin a little dark, so
the maroon wasn't the color for you. But the Burundara purple.
I don't know if the purple is either.
The Burundara purple.
Let alone the gold.
There's lots of color variations. Yeah. Maybe next season, we might have to do a couple of changes. Varley. Papastanis. Back to Varley.
Yeah. Switching the point of attack is going to help both teams open up pockets throughout the whole field, so hopefully both teams can continue to do that.
Sandu.
Speaking of the devil.
Switching it back out to Papastanis. He's going to send it back the other way to Christensen. Heavy touch has just sent her further away from where she wants to be, and that ball through is really nice for Letitia McKenna, but Gabby Garton came out just in time, and there was Beattie going to make sure that no South player was going to get the deflection. McKenna's still down on the ground, but a really good opportunity early for South Melbourne. It's a foot race between Papastanis and Markovsky. Papastanis has done well. Westland. Varley just got her foot stuck under the ball and straight to Beattie Goad. So South immediately putting themselves under pressure, and that switch across from Goad was to no one in particular, and Sandu's going to collect. Christensen. Got McKenna in space. Now she finds her. Nice. Westland. Got Iamano right next to her, and Iamano didn't make the run. She's going to get there before Goat anyway.
As you can see, it has exposed pockets, switching from one side to the other.
And it's going to be a South Melbourne throw-in.
Letitia switching that point of attack was a really good job of catching the opponent off guard. Unfortunately,
Francesca Iamano,
Franny over there,
just struggled a little
was
bit.
A little turned off her brain for a second, but hey, we all do that.
So it's
90 minutes to play.
It is Varley, and just sent it forward in the hopes that there was another white shirt there, but it's not just me and Christina Hall on the call this evening. We've obviously got Oscar Rutherford down on the boundary there. Oscar, what have you seen from the game so far?
Yeah, no, it's been a really interesting contest so far for Kua. Still a light bit of rain falling on us, and two very different approaches from the coaches on the side. Caitlin Friend seated, calm the whole way through. George Georgiadis up on his feet, can't sit still really. So it's a really interesting viewpoint from down here. The big takeaway for me in the first 15 or so minutes has been some of the matchups, the size differential between, for example, Sophie Papatsanis and Maya Markovsky right in front of me. It's really noticeable and interesting to see if either of these sides are able to exploit those disadvantages or those kind of mismatches down either flank.
Thank you, Oscar. We'll be going to Oscar throughout the game. Reid. Klajich. Back to Varley. South Melbourne have been really comfortable throughout this game in possession. Bulleen have struggled to get on the ball, but Zoyce knocks it away, but straight to the feet of Reid. Christensen. Overlapping run there from Sandhu. And Katie Beck's going to get there first, but that is something that is very familiar to the game of South Melbourne. For those who've watched them play, they do love to use the width, and Sandhu and we've got Papastanis making those overlapping runs. And it's something that Bulleen will have to watch throughout the evening. Sandhu sends it through into the middle, and Go does get her boot to it. Oh, so close to being the first goal of the game, unfortunately, but fortunately for Phoebe Goad, it went straight over the bar, and it will be the first corner of the game for South Melbourne.
She's in a great position to protect that, as scary as it was. If she hadn't touched that, I'm pretty sure the ball's in the back of the net because Franny is right there.
It's going to be Taylor Christensen to take his first corner. Christensen straight to the head of Garton, who just puts it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Unlucky for Gabby Garton, but Taylor Christensen sent it into a dangerous area, and Garton lost track of the ball and knocked it into the back of her own net. And that's the opening goal. It came early, and that's exactly what South Melbourne would have wanted.
Very, very dangerous ball being played in there. It's never easy as a goalkeeper having the ball coming swinging into you, and with the amount of players in and around her, I can understand how she accidentally dropped that.
And it's so interesting because FC Bulleen Lions have been one of the best teams in the competition at scoring from set pieces, and they've also been one of the best defensively, having not conceded a single goal all year from a set piece. And for the first one to come in a grand final, they will be absolutely upset, and they wish it had gone the other way. That pass from Young, straight out of play.
Plenty of time, so they shouldn't be too stressed about that, and a game can switch within seconds. So one little tackle here, if one of their teammates can put in a solid tackle, it might change the whole momentum of the game. So
certainly, and as we did mention at the start of this game, that Bulleen defence have gone through a lot in the closing stages of the season. They've got no Liam Aldeary, no Alex Natoli, no Claudia Murcic, all unavailable for this final, so it is not a conventional back four as TJ Blanche is playing at centre back. But now an opportunity at a set piece for Bulleen, something they've been so prolific at throughout the whole season. They have scored almost 50% of their goals throughout the season from set pieces as Blanche over the ball. Sent it deep. Not cleared away just yet, and that effort from Rogers took a deflection, and it will be a Bulleen corner.
Like I said, seconds. So let's see what they can do now.
And it's going to be Paige Zoyce. She's going to take this corner. Zoyce has been one of those prolific people in charge of those set pieces for Bulleen.
Another in-swinger here.
Certainly. Zoyce sends it deep, and only white shirts there in the end. So it is going to go out for a Bulleen throw-in on the far side. And that's Taylor Christensen's 11th goal if we are awarding it to her. I believe it will be awarded to her. It was on target. And,
she'll take credit for it, whether it's on paper or not. So
absolutely.
We'll give it to her tonight.
We will give it to her. Roger, under pressure from Sandu immediately, does win the ball back. Reed. Sending it long and away. Little does get the header on it. Byrne. Now Zoyce. Pass from Zoyce straight to the white shirts. McKenna. Apostanis. Wise with that flick on, but Westland wasn't ready for it. Blanich. Zoyce. Straight under pressure there from Klejc, but still Zoyce continues her run forward. A long-range effort. As always, going wide of Miranda Templeman's goal. Both of those two teammates last season. They will be teammates again this season in the A-League Women's for Melbourne Victory, and they'll actually be playing a lot of their games out of the home of the Matildas. That's where they'll be based, so just getting familiar, some of those players, with this pitch. Varley to Reed. Really patient bit of play from South Melbourne. Now a goal up, and if you've just joined us, Taylor Christensen in the 14th minute scored a beautiful Olympico goal, but it was helped on by Gabby Garden. Unfortunately, she inadvertently knocked it back into her own net. Varley. Westland. Aposanis. Down the line to Iamano. He's got Blanich there. Right up against her. Still Iamano's done massively fantastic footwork and straight off the feet of McKenna. So it will be a goal kick, but you can see exactly what South Melbourne want to do. They want to get their wingers in a lot of space.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate she beat her once, she beat her twice, she beat her a third time. Could she have beaten her a fourth time before getting that cross off? No, it's some of the final decision making is allowing Bulleen to stay in this game right now. So South, if they can kind of clean that up, it would be really...
With a nice ball to Christensen, it does get a boot to it! And it's just on wide of the goal, but there you see the FC Bulleen Lions are making it so difficult for themselves getting out of their defence. Taylor Christensen almost got her brace. Could she have done a little bit better?
Did she have to go to the ground? It's my biggest pet peeve. Like, if she could stay on her feet, take a small touch around Gabby there, it would be in the back of the net. But hey, look, it's easier said from up here than on the pitch, right? With the pressure of such a big game.
Guard. Still guard. It's caught in a lot of traffic and just has to send it down the line.
As you see on that screen, Letitia's beautiful ball in, really just leading Christensen, yeah. Perfect pass. Unfortunate to not have that final finish.
been the perfect first half for South Melbourne. Who certainly settled the better of the two sides. As Zoyce plays it nicely through to Yancheski's one-on-one against Bree Reed, but she's brought down. Referee Caitlin Williams waves away those penalty protests. And Bree Reed showing why she's been one of the best defenders throughout the season with a well-timed tackle.
Gotta give credit to the referee. She's, 10 meters away from that and has a clear view of that, so there's no chance of making the wrong call there. So well done to Caitlin.
Excellent decision there from Caitlin Williams. It looked like Reed had timed it perfectly. It's indicative of her season so far. No player has been in more duels than Brianne Reed, and no player has a better percentage when it comes to those duels as well. Just showing once again why she is just a phenomenal defender and a fantastic position into this league. And that replay that you just saw on screen did confirm the right call in the end. Yamano sends it through to the path of Wise, but it's going to go through to Garton. Now Goad. Yamano work rate, something that's so impressive about Francesca Yamano. Not only can she play as a winger, but she's spent a lot of time as fullback as well. That's why you see her, she's so able to hold into a defensive role when her side needs. Vlanich. Straight through to the path of Young. It does get ahead to it. Now Markovski. Got Goad out wide, finds her. That ball's just taking Goad a little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still Goad finally gets that ball in. Markovski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Goad did fantastically well to keep the ball in play, and there was Maya Markovski where she needed to be to knock it past Miranda Templeman. And for all the pressure that South Melbourne have put on throughout this first half, the FC Bulleen Lions are right back into this contest, courtesy of a Maya Markovski goal.
You got to give the credit to Beatty Goad there, taking her defenders one-on-one, getting that cross off. Had time and space to get a cross off, picked out a player, not even just kicked it in. So it was really well done to Beatty on that one, but great finish.
Certainly a great finish, and that's the 5th goal of the season for Maya Markovski, and it couldn't come at a better time for her side. They looked to be struggling throughout this game, but showing their quality. Only need one opportunity to go forward. And
it's unfortunate Reed's having such a good game that she loses Markovski for a short time, and unfortunate that it goes in the back of the net.
Hope for Bulleen and Caitlin Friend. This lifts their game up just in the middle of the park. As they have struggled, had limited opportunities throughout this game. Little. Blanche. Katie Beck. Not given away. Now Danielle Wise played it. Tried to play it through to Letitia McKenna, but that pass was too heavy.
It's the right idea, unfortunately. Again, coming down to the little final decision, the final pass.
Just charging down the line. There's Iamano doing that defensive work rate again. Westland sends it back into the middle, but there's only maroon shirts around. Young. Now Yancheski. Flicks it back for Byrne. He's got some space, and there's Alana Byrne with that strike. Straight at the head of Brianne Reed, who is well in her rights to take her time to get up, because that was
concussion.
Yeah, that sounded
didn't look good.
Didn't look great, and that hopefully Brianne Reed is okay, but probably gives us a good time to go down to Oscar Rutherford down on the boundary. Oscar, obviously Bulleen, that one great opportunity to go forward, and they score off that. Take us through that from your angle.
Yeah, really interesting to see Beatty Goad finally pushing high up the pitch, from the fullback position. She hasn't really been able to get that far up the pitch for most of the game until that point. And Markovsky just drifted inside, wasn't followed by Papatsanis or anybody, and was there to put away a really nice finish as well, to be fair. So Bulleen, they've responded really well to that South Melbourne goal. South have lost a little bit of the control of the game that they had prior to that. The rain has also stopped, so we've got perfect conditions for football after a really great first half hour.
That ball is flicked through and out for a goal kick. 1-1 here in the Women's Victoria Grand Final between South Melbourne and FC Bulleen. Varley. Papasanis. Yamano down the line. Does find her in the end and flicked it on, but it's gone out for a Bulleen throw in. A contest between her and Beatty Goad. And TJ Vlanich. Fantastic to watch throughout the game. Young. Beck. Out wide to Little. Beck's just going to send it long, and Reed just got a boot to it before Jancheski could collect it. This game is certainly just going to a little bit of a lull after that goal from Bulleen, and that ball sent forward nicely for Christensen. He's going to get there first. Still Christensen, but knocked away by Little, so it's going to be another corner, this time from the opposite side for South Melbourne. First corner of the game got them a goal. They'll be hoping it proves to be just as fruitful the second time around.
I think Gabby's learned her lesson on this one.
Yeah, I think Gabby Garden is such an experienced keeper. Argentinian international. Wanting to just put that behind her and focus on this one as Sandu stands over the ball. Another in swinger. Set deep. Had Garden again. It's gone in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandu makes it 2-1 and another Olympico goal. I don't think you would have scripted that. And a beautiful strike from Akeisha Sandu.
To be fair,
oh my days.
There's nothing Gabby could have done on that one. That was just well struck all in all.
Fantastic strike from Akeisha Sandu. Couldn't have hit it any better if she tried. And as I mentioned, Bulleen have been a side so good at defending set pieces throughout the entirety of the season, and they've conceded twice from a set piece. It's not the way that South Melbourne typically score, but I think they'll accept it as Jancheski gets us back underway. To Markovsky. They just wanted to pick up the pace here, Bulleen, and have an immediate response.
They don't care how it goes in, let's be real.
They do not care, and it's a great strike. It's one of the best you'll see throughout the season. She picked up that far post as Paige Joyce is going to send this corner in. Sends it deep, and only Bran Reed's head there. There Varley, who knocks it out for another corner.
Makes it very challenging for Miranda in goal there when you've got so many players in and around her penalty area.
Certainly. That ball's swung in by Jancheski, and Markovsky does get her head to it, but still bobbling around. Now still Markovsky, who does finally get a boot to it, and took a couple of deflections, but still not cleared away from that South defence. And now they're awarded a free kick, but Miranda Templeman, in the end, I think she got a hand to it, or somebody got something to it, and it was diverted off course, and
looked like a ping pong machine.
It certainly did look like a ping pong machine, and South Melbourne hold on to that lead, but this game has certainly turned up the pressure. Varley back to Templeman. to Sandu. Goal scorer of the second for South Melbourne. It's only her second goal of the season. The only other one came through a penalty. So Keisha Sandu stepping up when needed. That's exactly what a captain does. Zoyce through the middle, tried to find Markovsky, but cleared away by Varley.
I think both teams should just kind of relax a bit, start to find feet a little bit more. The more they keep the ball, the harder it is for the other team. So that's what Bulleen did really well to get their first goal. Let's hope that they can kind of reset and keep connecting their passes.
Markovsky was certainly dancing with the ball at her feet just then, but knocked out for a throw in. So take a look at this. What are you seeing there, Christina?
Gets whipped in there, and it looks like Christensen tries to clear it, but it goes towards the goal as Templeman kicks the ball.
Yeah, I think it's come off Christensen and then pinged off from Miranda Templeman's back leg. I think she had no idea about it, but I think she might put that on the highlights reel saying, you know what, I'm a bit of a Spider-Woman out there. I can save it any chance. Varley to McKenna. Does get a flick on. Now it's a foot race between Vlanic and Wise. But Vlanic was right there where she needed to be. And that pass from Garten missed everybody. So it will be another South Melbourne throw-in. TJ Vlanic in that heart of the defence was away for a couple of weeks, was playing football in Serbia. She's a Serbian international. A really experienced player to have in the centre of the defence if you're going to have to make a makeshift defence, but we'll come back to that as Janczewski tried to feed it through for Young. Westland down the line nicely there for Iamano. Was in a foot race with Goad. Iamano's able to keep it in, but she sent it in just slightly too early, it seemed.
I'd like a little bit more of her having that confidence that she has and take her on. You lose it in the corner, you're still 120 meters away from your own goal, so have at it. That's what you're good at. Go for it.
Always to play to what you know best. And Varley. Westland. Apasana switched positions for a second and got the ball stuck under her feet, but McKenna there to recover.
You can see what South are trying to do here. You've got the interchange with their outside back. Doesn't get it the first pass, so that she lets the center mid come outside to get the ball, and then she pops in the middle. It's really good movement off the ball for South. It's just unfortunate, again, execution is slightly lacking, so let's just kind of refine that.
Here we go!
Yeah.
As you can hear George down there, right?
George is definitely picking that up from French Mike, and certainly.
And it's contributing to the high press that they're showing right now.
Georgiadis, head coach for South Melbourne, came in midway through last season. They had a coaching change and got them that win over Heidelberg in the Nike FC Cup semi-final. A really thrilling game down at Jack Edwards Reserve, and they've been back. Now they're back into a grand final after some really timely acquisitions during the off-season. This team finishing 6th last year made it back into a grand final, so a really positive season for them. And I don't know if they're on course for what they projected, but it's certainly been a fantastic season for them, and it'll be topped off if they can win the ultimate prize. McKenna forward, but only go there, but Wise.
From my understanding, he's done a really good job of recruiting and has chosen to go a little bit more with some experience, a little bit older players, and
it is a really experienced side with the likes of Breed coming in. Misha Westland obviously got lots of experience in the A-League Women's, and Letitia McKenna as well in this squad. Lots of experience. She's plays for Melbourne City at the moment, but has played for the likes of Perth Glory and Adelaide United in the A-League Women's. As Varley makes her way outside. McKenna tried to flick it on for Iamano, but there was Paige Joyce to deflect it away. Vlanic. Markovsky Beautifully done. That the ball. Markowski, Young. Byrne calling for it in the middle. Now Zoyce. Out wide to Little. They need to keep this pace up.
Done a really good job of switching the point of attack here. And
Reed comes in clattering for how Little. Looks like Caitlin Williams will probably come back to it as Jancheski sends it through, but safely into the hands of Miranda Templeman. And Caitlin Friend is
allowing that to, at least she played the advantage. Obviously that's a foul there, but she allowed it to play forward, so good call on her part. But tackles like those sometimes can be knee injuring, season ending.
Yeah, we would imagine that once there is a break in play, that Caitlin Williams will maybe go back to it, have a word with Bree Reed, or might even show a card as Sandu makes a beautiful run through. That pass is too heavy for Danielle Wise, and it will go out for a goal kick. And Caitlin Williams won't have any words for Bree Reed, so she's very lucky with after that challenge.
I'll just say I wouldn't be happy if I had that against me.
Fair enough.
No intent, but still, it's not pleasant.
I don't think I'd be particularly happy. I think I might retire from football after that one. Too many strong challenges like that. As go tips it out for a goal kick. It's been such a thrilling game so far. South Melbourne got that early goal through Taylor Christensen and her corner, and it looked like they were going to be in cruise control for the rest of the first half, and then one really great opportunity to go forward for Bulleen. They capitalised through some nice work from Beattie Goad and then finished off by Maya Markowski, and then game had settled a little bit. We're all getting a little bit comfortable, and Akeisha Sandu says you're getting too comfortable. The beautiful Olympico goal to finish it off, and now it sees South Melbourne 2-1 up in this contest as Varley comes across, clears it out for a Bulleen throw-in. Goad, short to Young, back out to Goad. Locked away by Westland. Now Iamano. Just going to watch it, and then Young inches it away. And it's gone out for another Bulleen throw-in. Young.
Ooh.
And locked away by Papasanis. Goad to Markowski. He's able to bring it down. Still Markowski.
Bit of a mismatch right there.
Just a slight mismatch there. But it is going out for a South Melbourne throw-in. So Papasanis down the line. Markowski with the header on it, but only to the path of Letitia McKenna. Byrne. Got Roger out there. Uses her. Tries to feed through Alana Jancheski, but Bree Reed once again in the right place at the right time. It's an opportunity to break forward for South Melbourne. Christensen to Wise. Heavy touch straight to the path of Paige Zoyce, and you'll hear the drums there of the South Melbourne supporters. It's our fellow NPL commentator Will Bennett on the drums as Beattie Goad finds the ball out wide and does look to hit the arm of Papasanis. Caitlin Williams agrees, so it is a free kick here for Bulleen in a promising area. Take a look at that, the replay, and Papasanis certainly had her head far away from her body. But for Bulleen here, they are obviously a prolific side on set pieces, but what are you looking for in this kind of opportunity?
You got to capitalize on it. One, either make the keeper make a save, major save, or get in on frame and put it in the back of the net. You've got two people on the ball here, but you've got plenty of numbers in the penalty area, so definitely get it in there.
There's going to be Paige Joyce who stands over it. Alana Jancheski has peeled away. They'll be high alert for South Melbourne. It's the way that they They scored to equalise in their round 15 contest, and it looks like Franny Emanuel's picked Lana Jancheski up. So
wouldn't be surprised if BD Go gets this off the top of the penalty area right here.
Zoyce sends it far and deep, and just a little bit too much on it, and certainly a shot on goal, and it eludes everybody. So will be a South Melbourne throw in, and obviously Oscar Rutherford down on the touchline as well. Oscar, what are both touchlines looking like? What are both benches looking like at the moment with the way the scoreline's sitting?
Yeah, look, not a lot of change from either coach. George Georgiadis still on his feet, still shouting instructions at his players. Caitlin Friend, on the other hand, has been pretty composed, got up and about for the goal, and also back to that Bree Reid challenge. She really wasn't happy with it.
Zoyce with a long-range effort and straight into the hands of Miranda Templeman. Sorry to interrupt you there, Oscar.
No worries at all. So, yeah, that challenge from Bree Reid didn't get the greatest reaction from Caitlin Friend. Danielle Anderson going over to calm down the Bulleen coach. But yeah, what a fun first half we've had, and forget everything we said at pre-game about set pieces. It's obviously South Melbourne who are all about the set piece, and Bulleen who are about the nice intricate build-up from the back half. It's not gone to script, but it's been thoroughly entertaining.
Reed now, Varley. Got Iamano trying to peel off Go, but Lanich was right where the ball was going to be. McKenna. Still McKenna had to retreat a long way and has to go all the way back to her keeper. Reid and McKenna. Got Christensen out wide, and splits the difference between Christensen and Sandu. But for Georgiadis' side at half-time, what do you think they're feeling if they walk into a 2-1 up?
He definitely is going to tell them not to get comfortable, as there's still another 45 minutes. And at this point, Bulleen has shown that they have the ability to come back from being behind. And you can see what their game plan is. They are, again, attacking on this outside flank here on the near side, which has proved that they are able to execute and finalize a goal. And it looks like it's going to happen again.
And the ball's coming back, and it will be a South Melbourne throw in. And then a Bulleen free. No, South Melbourne. I'm getting myself confused. We're getting to half-time. And
not yet switched.
Exactly. But it will be South Melbourne free kick here through Varley. She's just trying to decide if she wants to go back to her keeper or send it forward. And she's finally decided to send it forward. It's the feet of Wise. Now McKenna tried to feed it through to Wise again, but it's going to be Vlanich who sends it out of play. And a thrilling first half we've seen here. A marquee game of the day. And the culmination of a lot of hard work for a lot of people at FV. Football Victoria to put this event on, and sponsors Senol for the final series as well. It's just been seen lots of good football as Franny Iamano tries to play it in, but there was Paige Zoyce to deflect it away. Westland, McKenna, Iamano, now Markowski finds Jancheski. Young got Roger in the middle and tries to feed it through, but Reid and Miranda Templeman are going to clear it away in time, and it will be 2 minutes of additional time in this first half. So give us trying to settle is Markowski. Jancheski cleared away finally by Papatsanis. Zoyce calmly brings it down. Little.
Can she bring that down? But can we go forward? We keep going back. We need to go forward.
Passive play at times from Bulleen, and something that they can get caught up in. And that's why they've struggled at times to break down some of these top six sides. Roger has done well to find a way inside. Zoyce Beats Westland. Now Zoyce, a long-range effort, and it's just sailed over the crossbar.
Why not?
You know that Paige Joyce does like a long-range effort at times. She's hasn't scored as much as she'd like this season. Only scored one goal, and that was against Alamein off a corner, I believe. So this would be a great time to pull out your second goal of the season. Sandu Christensen. And Westland knocked off the ball by Young. No free kick given. Yanchevsky. Got Markowski overhead, and a powerful strike there from Alana Yanchevsky straight at the leg of Bree Reed, but play continues. Go. Now Yanchevsky. Back to Markowski, who's able to stop on a dime, but straight to Sandu that ball goes. And Zoyce with a long-range effort. Needs to be cleared away by South, and not done so yet. McKenna finally gets it away, but only as far as Aroha Little. Beck. Go. Can't be too long left in this opening half of play. Markowski turns, and a long-range effort once again off target. That's what Bulleen have been stuck to this entire first half, long-range efforts. And that's half-time here in this NPL Women's Victoria grand final between the FC Bulleen Lions and South Melbourne. And it's FC Bulleen Lions 1, South Melbourne 2. We've seen two Olympicos. We've seen a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen to get themselves their first goal of the game. Take me through your initial thoughts on the first half.
Like I said, it's going to goals today, right? And that's exactly what we've seen. Obviously, it was the results Oscar and I both thought could potentially be. And as much as I want my prediction to be true, I'm really hoping there's more goals in the second half. And it actually looks like there will be. So depends on what's said at halftime and seeing how Bulleen can come out.
Yeah,
surely they'll be able to come out with some fight, because this is a game. Like, you got nothing to lose. No, you're losing 1-0 basically.
You've got to make something happen. It's certainly been a thrilling first half here. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back after halftime to finish out this all-important grand final to see who wins it all. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back after this break.
That was good. Well done.
Sana sends that ball in, and in the path of Wise just couldn't get her head clearly to attack. Christensen does look to keep the ball in play. She manages to, but only wins her side a throw in.
She does a really good job of getting herself in between that ball and the attacker. So if Alana wants to get around that, got to find ways.
Flick on Wise.
Hard, right?
It's not too bad, not too bad at all. Just going to send it back the other way to Christensen. Heavy touches, just sent her further away from where she wants to be, and that ball through is really nice for Letitia McKenna, but Gabby Garton came out just in time. Good evening, Sandu. Sends it through into the middle, and Go does get her boot to it. Oh, so Christensen straight to the head of Garton, who just dumps it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Christensen straight to the head of Garton, who just dumps it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Over the ball. Sent it deep. Not cleared away just yet, and that effort from Rogers took it to Vlanich. Zoyce. Straight under pressure there from Klajic, but still Zoyce continues her run forward. A long-range effort. Blanic there. Right up against her. Still Liamano's done massively fantastic footwork and straight off the feet of McKenna.
So South, if they can kind of clean that up, it would be really...
With a nice ball to Christensen, it does get a boot to it! And it's just on. Certainly settled the better of the two sides as Zoyce plays it nicely through to Janczewski's one-on-one against Brie Reed, but she's brought down. Sides as Zoyce plays it nicely through to Janczewski's one-on-one against Brie Reed, but she's brought down. Referee Caitlin Williams waves away. Goes penalty protest. A little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still Go finally gets that ball in. Markowski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Go did fantastic. A little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still Go finally gets that ball in. Markowski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Go did fantastic. Around Young, now Janczewski. Flicks it back for Byrne. He's got some space, and there's Alana Byrne with that strike. Straight at the head of Brianne Reed. As well in her rights to take her time to get up, because that was another in-swing up. Set deep. Had gotten again. It's gone in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandu makes it 2-1 and another Olympico goal. Another in-swing up. Set deep. Had gotten again. It's gone in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandu makes it 2-1 and another Olympico goal. Hung in by Janczewski, and Markowski does get her head to it, but still bobbling around. Now still Markowski, who does finally get a boot to it. And took a couple of deflections, but still not cleared away from calling for it in the middle. Now Zoyce. Out wide to Little. They need to keep this pace up.
Done a really good job of switching the point of attack here. And
Reed comes in for the beautiful Olympico goal to finish it off. And now it sees South Melbourne 2-1 up in this contest as Varley comes across. Just going to watch it, and then Young inches it away. It's gone out for her. It's commentator Will Bennett on the drums as Beatty Go finds the ball out wide and does look to hit the arm of Papasanis. Caitlin Williams agrees.
On the other hand, has been pretty composed, got up and about for the goal, and also back to that Brie Reed challenge. She really wasn't happy with it.
Zoyce with a long-range effort and straight into the hands of Miranda Templeman. Roger has done well to find a way inside. Zoyce beats Westland. Now Zoyce, a long-range effort, and it's just sailed over. Needs to be cleared away by South, and not done so yet. McKenna finally sends that ball in, and in the path of Wise. Just couldn't get her head clearly to attack. Christensen does look to keep the ball in play. She manages to, but only wins her side a throw in.
She does a really good job of getting herself in between that ball and the attacker, so... if Alana wants to get around that, got to find ways.
A flick on Wise
part, right?
It's not too bad, not too bad at all. Jonas is going to send it back the other way to Christensen. Heavy touches just sent her further away from where she wants to be, and that ball through is really nice for Letitia McKenna, but Gabby Garten came out just in time. Evening, Sandu sends it through into the middle, and Go does get her boot to it. Oh, so Christensen straight to the head of Garten, who just dumps it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Christensen straight to the head of Garten, who just dumps it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Over the ball. Sent it deep. Not cleared away just yet, and that effort from Rogers took it to Blanic. Zoyce. Straight under pressure there from Klajic, but still Zoyce continues her run forward. A long-range effort. Blanic there. Right up against her. Still Liamano's done massively fantastic footwork and straight off the feet of McKenna.
So South, if they can kind of clean that up, it would be really...
With a nice ball to Christensen, it does get a boot to it. it's just on. Certainly settled the better of the two sides as Zoyce plays it nicely through to Yancheski's one-on-one against Brie Reed, but she's brought down. Sides as Zoyce plays it nicely through to Yancheski's one-on-one against Brie Reed, she's brought down. Referee Caitlin Williams waves away. Goes penalty protest. A little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still go, finally gets that ball in. Markowski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Go did fantastic. A little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still go, finally gets that ball in. Markowski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Go did fantastic. Around Young, now Yancheski. Flicks it back for Byrne. He's got some space, and there's Alana Byrne with that strike. Straight at the head of Brianne Reed. As well in her rights to take her time to get up, because that was another in-swing up. Set deep at Garden again, and it's gone in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandu makes it through one, and another Olympico goal. Another in-swing up. Set deep at Garden again, and it's gone in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandu makes it through one, and another Olympico goal. Hung in by Yancheski, and Markowski does get her head to it, but still bobbling around. Now still Markowski, who does finally get a boot to it, and took a couple of deflections, but still not cleared away from that. Calling for it in the middle. Now Zoyce. Out wide's a little. They need to keep this pace up.
Done a really good job of switching the point of attack here, and
Reed comes in for the beautiful Olympico goal to finish it off. And now it sees South Melbourne 2-1 up in this contest as Varley comes across. Just going to watch it, and then Young inches it away, and it's gone out for her. It's commentator Will Bennett on the drums as Beatty Go finds the ball out wide and does look to hit the arm of Papasanis, and Caitlin Williams agrees.
On the other hand, has been pretty composed, got up and about for the goal, and also back to that Brie Reed challenge. She really wasn't happy with it.
Zoyce with a long-range effort and straight into the hands of Miranda Templeman. Roger has done well to find a way inside. Zoyce beats Westland. Now Zoyce, a long-range effort, and it's just sailed. Needs to be cleared away by South, and not done so yet. McKenna finally sends that ball in, and in the path of Wise. Just couldn't get her head clearly to attack. Christensen does look to keep the ball in play. She manages to, but only wins her side a throw in.
She does a really good job of getting herself in between that ball and the attacker. So if Alana wants to get around that, got to find ways.
A flick on Wise
Park, right?
It's not too bad, not too bad at all. Jonas is going to send it back the other way to Christensen. Heavy touch has just sent her further away from where she wants to be, and that ball through is really nice for Letitia McKenna, but Gabby Garton came out just in time. And then evening, Sandu sends it through into the middle, and Go does get her boot to it. Oh, so Christensen straight to the head of Garton, who just puts it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Christensen straight to the head of Garton, who just puts it into the back of the net, and that is the first goal of the grand final. Over the ball. Sent it deep. Not cleared away just yet, and that effort from Rogers took it to Blanich. Zoyce. Straight under pressure there from Klejc, but still Zoyce continues her run forward. A long-range effort. Blanich there. Right up against her. Still Liamano's done massively fantastic footwork and straight off the feet of McKenna.
So South, if they can kind of clean that up, it would be really...
With a nice ball to Christensen, who does get a boot to it. And it's just gone. Certainly settled the better of the two sides as Zoyce plays it nicely through to Yancheski's one-on-one against Brie Reed, but she's brought down. Sides as Zoyce plays it nicely through to Yancheski's one-on-one against Brie Reed, but she's brought down. Referee Caitlin Williams waves away. Goes penalty protest. A little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still Goad finally gets that ball in. Markowski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Goad did fantastic. A little bit off course, but she manages to keep it in. Still Goad finally gets that ball in. Markowski does get a boot to it, and it's 1-1 here. And a beautiful bit of play there from Bulleen. Beatty Goad did fantastic. Around Young, now Yancheski. Flicks it back for Byrne. He's got some space, and there's Alana Byrne with that strike. Straight at the head of Brianne Reid, who is well in her rights to take her time to get up, because that was another in-swinger. Set deep at Gardner again. It's got in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandhu makes it 2-1, and another Olympico goal. Another in-swinger. Set deep at Gardner again. It's got in the back of the net. Akeisha Sandhu makes it 2-1, and another Olympico goal. Hung in by Yancheski, and Markowski does get her head to it, but still bobbling around. Now still Markowski, who does finally get a boot to it, and took a couple of deflections, but still not cleared away from calling for it in the middle. Now Zoyce. Out wide to Little. They need to keep this pace up.
Done a really good job of switching the point of attack here, and
Reid comes in for the beautiful Olympico goal to finish it off. And now it sees South Melbourne 2-1 up in this contest as Varley comes across. Just going to watch it, and then Young inches it away, and it's gone out for it. This commentator Will Bennett on the drums as Beatty Goad finds the ball out wide and does look to hit the arm of Papasanis, and Caitlin Williams agrees.
On the other hand, has been pretty composed, got up and about for the goal, and also back to that Bree Reid challenge. She really wasn't happy with it.
Zoyce with a long-range effort and straight into the hands of Miranda Templeman. Roger has done well to find a way inside. Zoyce beats Westland. Now Zoyce, a long-range effort, and it's just sailed. Hello and welcome back here for the second half of the NPL Victoria Women's Grand Final between the FC Bulleen Lions and South Melbourne. If you're just joining us here at halftime, you missed a thrilling opening half of football. She saw South Melbourne go out to an early lead in the 14th minute, courtesy of Taylor Christensen cross a corner that was helped on by Gabby Garden and deflected towards goal. And then Bulleen went right back at it in the 24th minute with a Maya Markowski goal. Really excellent work from Beatty Goad with the assist. And then Akeisha Sandhu said, you know what, it looked like it could have been a full Olympico, but I'm going to show you one we can't deny as Bulleen get us underway here in the second half. And Akeisha Sandhu with that beautiful Olympico has South Melbourne up 2-1 as Markowski gets away out to Goad. He's going to try to send it in, but Papasanis was right there, and it's gone out for a corner. So,
as you can see, Beatty is really good at taking players down line and not only engaging one defender, but she's had two defenders on her, aka winning that corner there.
Absolutely, and Beatty Goad, such a fantastic play. Come back to Australia after spending some time overseas.
It's my home state.
Yeah, and she's going to. This ball sent in through Zoyce. It's ahead of Beck. It's cleared away from everybody, and it's going to be a goal kick for South Melbourne. But some great footballers out here. Seen some really good football so far in this game. And for South Melbourne, I think they would obviously be pleased that they're 2-1 up, but I think they might feel that they should have capitalised on some better opportunities they did have as Byrne comes away with the ball. Sends it back to Goad. It's under pressure from Iamano, but breaks away. Got Markowski out wide, finds her. Still Markowski, still working her way in, and finally gets the ball across, but it's gone out for a corner.
As you can see, they're Bulleen has decided to attack this their left flank. I think they've seen something that they feel like can be a threat for them. And both times they've attacked that flank, they've received 2 corners.
And it's going to be Zoyce to take it once again. Markowski's just found herself in a world of space at the far post. Directed it back. He can't get ahead to it, and it's cleared out wide. And there's Varley.
Reed did a really good job of getting just a little flick onto that to eliminate that easy finish for Bulleen as they come down the line again.
Wise pickpocketed by Janczewski. Now Young. Under pressure from Sandu. Janczewski. He's getting pulled back by Wise, and Wiseman does see that, so it's going to be a free kick here for Bulleen in a dangerous area again, and it looks like it's going to be Alana Janczewski this time with an in-swinger. Zoyce makes her way to the rest of the pack. Janczewski, you know what she can do with a free kick. Sends it across, and Varley gets her head to it. Out to Zoyce. Still Zoyce. Now out wide to Janczewski. Under pressure from Sandu. That ball in, and Markowski can't direct her head up. It's the path of the maroon shirts, but it's going to come back through Beatty Goat. She's just charging her way in, and it's on her side a free kick. So another free kick opportunity for Bulleen. This time a little bit closer, and I think the angle is a little bit more of what they would like to see. And it's going to be...
Looks like Zoe again stepping up.
Does look like it's going to be Paige Zoyce standing over the ball. And that is who typically does stand over their set piece opportunities.
I should know that name.
Zoyce, great effort on goal, but straight into the hands of Templeman, who wants to get underway quickly. Klejc back to Westland. Now left short for Sandu, and Gode's able to pounce on it, and Sandu makes up for it, but it's coming back through a Bulleen corner.
Clearly the halftime talk was to put a little bit more pressure on every single time that South has that ball. So, and it's working out for them right now, and now South needs to kind of reset.
Janczewski to the near post, and needs to be cleared away, and it just eludes the feet of Rosie Roger, and it's going to be a goal kick. And much like we heard in the first half, Georgiadis loud on giving his side instruction. The ball down the line from Reed is straight to Roja Little, who's in the last few weeks has had to make way of attacking Prowess and plays as a right fullback, and that ball down the line to Janczewski. He won't be able to keep it in place, so it will be another goal kick for South Melbourne.
It's unfortunate for Bulleen. Little was really dominant in the middle for at least the first half of the season, so seeing her having to step back into that outside back role is...
And a great bit of work there from Sandu, and now forward for Christensen, who's knocked it away from Gabby Garden. Christensen, and just narrowly missing the foot of Danielle Wise. Gabby Garden has not had an evening to remember, was beaten by Taylor Christensen, and that ball across missed not only Christensen, who's knocked it away from Gabby Garden. Christensen, Danielle Wise, so close to making it 3-1 for South Melbourne.
Don't know what she's thinking there. What? Open goal, shoot maybe? But hey, look, to pick out her teammate who's on the back post, great look. They're very unfortunate to not have that third goal there. And Gabby must be very happy with that.
Yeah, I think Gabby Garden was certainly pleased with that. I think Taylor Christensen maybe just got pulled slightly too wide for her liking. And just got a little bit off balance in the end, but
Bulleen are going to have to be careful with that ball over the top.
they certainly are. And Akeisha Sandhu did excellent work defensively to bring the ball inside and find her teammates in space. Now Roger out wide to Yanchevsky, who gets the flick on back to Roger, who beats Reed, who's done the split. Still Roger needs to find his teammate in support, and Bree Reed makes up for it in the end. But Yanchevsky back at her again with a physical bump. And now this contest is certainly livened up. Zoyce with a long-range effort, but straight into the hands of Miranda Templeman. And that's been the cleanest strike all afternoon for Paige Zoyce. We know she likes a long-range effort, and that's the closest she's got so far.
Again, like taking the shots when she can, it's been great. It's, again, unfortunate that she's hit it just straight to the goalkeeper there. Left or right, and she's going to have to make a phenomenal save to keep that out of the back of the net.
This game has certainly turned up a notch in terms of intensity. Obviously, with Bulleen down a goal, they are going to push for this game a lot more, and it's very indicative of last weekend against Calder. That first half, Calder were much the dominant side, had control of the possession and control of a lot of the attacking phases of play, but in the second half, Bulleen got way more into the game and had a lot better looks going forward, and it's playing out just like that as Reed almost loses the ball, but finds it in time. McKenna trying to switch it through for Iamano, but Zoyce sending it forward. Reed does get ahead to it, but Riley back there. Westland does look like South have lost control of that midfield in this early stages of the second half, and it's allowed Bulleen to get back into this game and feeling a lot more confident. But obviously, the warning side with that chance for Taylor Christensen and Danielle Wise. Sandhu. McKenna. Got options ahead. Abitsanis. Got Klejc in support, but finds Danielle Wise, who's just got ahead of Beatty Go, but it's gone out for what looks to be a throw in.
Switching the point of attack makes a huge difference for both teams, so the more you see it from either side, the more pockets again are going to open up in the middle and allows additional numbers getting forward, as you can see just in the last 30 seconds.
Klejc with the ball across, and it's going to miss everybody and go out for a goal kick. Beck sending it long, but only Sandhu and Reed are going to get there first, and you can only hope to make it as difficult, but Sandhu's done well. Fantastic game so far, Akeisha Sandhu, as she's just on the ground. And probably give us this break in play, give us an opportunity to go to Oscar Rutherford on the touchline. Oscar, this second half we've seen Bulleen get a lot more control in this game. What have you seen to make that change possible for them?
Yeah, Bulleen have come out really strong in the second half, haven't they? I think much more what Caitlin Friend would have envisaged coming into this game, pinning South Melbourne back, repeat set pieces. I did hear George Georgiadis very quickly make an adjustment in response to that, asking Danielle Wise to move on to that right-hand side, I think to curb the influence of Beatty Goad, who was looking really dangerous with her runs down the left, particularly in that first 5 or so minutes. So South Melbourne responding, but it's a much more even contest and a much more high-intensity game to start the second half.
It has been high intensity, and that Goad option down on that side, it was what got them the goal in the first half, and beating Papasanis on that one-on-one. But Beatty Goad, he's such an important player, gone with caps for the Matildas, plays for Melbourne Victory, and also studying to become a doctor. So not only is she smart, she's great at football, and it'd be nice to get her on the ball a little bit more if you're a fan of Bulleen or you're wearing a maroon shirt this evening.
It's an ongoing argument, right? Like, I think women are really good at multitasking, and because I have to. And like you said, she's going to be a doctor soon, so she's winning in all aspects of life.
Certainly is winning, and I think if we did who's the smartest, I think Beatty Goad might get it, but there's an opportunity here, and there's Beatty Goad right on cue to clear it away. And she certainly, I think, think we were doing like, one of those shows. Like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Maybe it should be, are you smarter than Beatty Goat? I think a lot of us would fail in that test pretty quickly.
Don't put me. Hey, Stanford is a different style.
Yeah, certainly. And that ball's gone out for a corner here for South Melbourne.
Will be interesting to see what they do here, where they're starting.
We've seen.
Is she gonna go again?
We've seen one Olympico and a half as Christensen.
Got the in-swinger again.
Nice in-swinger. McKenna misses it, and Goad able to clear it away, but it will come back through Christensen with that effort. Skinny across. Did hit the side netting. Lucky enough for Gabby Garden, but I do think she had it covered. She was standing at her near post.
Definitely protected there, so.
Certainly. Byrne. Switch out to Roger, who does manage to make it work. Little. Sending it dangerously across goal. Byrne. Now to Zoyce, and that all looked wrong to start with, and now an opportunity to pounce on it for South Melbourne, but they've just rushed that. Westland. Zoyce to Roger. Still Roger. Now working her way through traffic, but Sandu collects. Reed. Klajic. Christensen up ahead. Does elect to use her. Doesn't have too many white shirts in the middle, but she sends it there anyway, and that flick on narrowly misses the head of Danielle Wise. So Beatty Goad, an opportunity to break forward for Bulleen. Markowski got Young in support, elects to go with Janczewski. And McKenna comes away with it for South Melbourne. Christensen straight to Iamano, who's one-on-one here with Beck. Will she go for a cross? Still Iamano, and wins her side. The corner. Just back and forth here.
Where's the confidence? Take her on.
Franny Iamano. So prolific. Link-up
well
play.
Defended.
She did score. Score last week. No,
yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Unfortunately,
she did score last week.
She had a nice sitter.
She did.
Literally.
It was a calm goal in the end for Iamano. Taylor Christensen as well scored last weekend as well. Don't worry, we'll let that go. That's in the past. We won't talk about it anymore. The Sandu is about to take this corner.
Too soon.
Too soon.
She can do it again.
Sandu sends it to the near post and cleared away by Goad. So those other two corners now of 50-50 for South Melbourne in terms of scoring from
still a pretty good percentage.
Still a pretty good stat, I reckon. Varley sends it forward for the path of Sandu. Does get ahead to it, but can't direct it to a path of a teammate. Little with the throw in. Janczewski. Christensen fighting there with Zoyce. Zoyce does win out, but the ball straight to McKenna. Wise, and that deflected away from the white shirt, straight to Garden, who's trying to spring her side forward quickly. Goad, Markowski now. Got Young continuing her run, but finds Goad, who's continued forward. Still Goad trying to find a maroon shirt to find it to, and finds Young in the end. Still Young up against Papasanis, but Young has done really well across goal. And Miranda Templeman, now Rosie Roger, got her to it. Templeman and Reed managed to get back in time to deflect it away, but that was a really good opportunity there for Bulleen.
Oh, great attacking mindset of just beating those two defenders to get that ball in, standing strong, get that cross off even, and making the keeper have to make two saves. So you wouldn't ask anything more. I'm sure Caitlin's actually pretty happy with that. Unfortunate that Rogers couldn't just get enough on that. Maybe
just couldn't get a boot under. I think
use your left foot, maybe.
I think that maybe Lana Janczewski slightly just took her off her rhythm because she was coming back, but a sigh of relief there for South Melbourne. Some dangerous opportunities for both sides in the second half, but it is still 2-1 here. And obviously if we can't find a winner in the 90 minutes, we will head to extra time and then to penalties. Janczewski finds a space, and that a great effort there from Alana Janczewski, and narrowly missing that top corner. But that's the kind of things that she can do.
Even with pressure on her, able to get that shot off. All she needs is, 6 inches? Sorry. What is it, 50 mil?
I'll be honest with you, I was going to trust you, Guy. I'm bad at maths. It wasn't the greatest thing for me in school. Varley. Markovski tried to feed it through for one of her teammates. Klajic out to Varley again. And down the line to Goad. He's kept it in, and everybody stopped playing. Still Goad here. Got Westland up against her, but manages to win a throw-in for her side. This game has been so back and forth at times. 2 goals from set pieces. You would have said maybe, you know what, some set piece goals. You would have expected them to come from Bulleen, but feels like the script has been switched today.
This is finals football, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what has happened throughout the whole season. It comes down to who shows up to play today, and both teams have, obviously, but South seem to have just a little extra in them with the way they're keeping the ball, the way they're moving the ball. Their decision-making in the final third is slightly off, but yet they're capitalizing on the ones that they have and are still creating as well.
And South Melbourne are able to get the win today. We'll come back to it as Alana Byrne mops up defensively for her side and showing great strength now. Zoyce to Young. Got options up ahead, but still Young, and fouled there by Varley. Needed to make that challenge.
Did she?
I feel like she needed to make that challenge, otherwise.
Oh, she's got her teammate right there is right there. You got a teammate coming out behind. She would have caught up.
She was maybe a little bit afraid of that run from Alana Janczewski, but either way, it's going to be another set-piece opportunity for Bulleen, and it's going to be TJ Vlanich over the ball this time. Don't think we're going to have... Actually, I might be wrong, because everybody does look like...
You've got Katie Beck pushing up, so there's some height in the attack there. Maybe that be the target today.
Did score last week as well, as Vlanich switches it out to Goad. Now Goad, is she going to continue her run in that one-on-one contest we're seeing with Papastanis? Still Goad, running out of space, had to come back and finally dealt with by that South Melbourne defence. Christensen surrounded by those maroon shirts, and they end up winning out in the end. And if South Melbourne are able to get the win over Bulleen this evening, it will be the first time they would have beaten them since July 2022, where they were 3-0 victors. And they'll be making up for that grand final in 2018 that they lost. And they did win the year before. They won in 2017, though. They did win in 2017.
I'll take your word.
I promise. South Melbourne did win the final in 2017. But just missed out in 2018. It's Caitlin Friend scored. Tiff Eliadis was captain of South Melbourne on that day. And she's did play for Bulleen this season, but unavailable today as that ball sent in. It's the near post, and it's bobbled around. Now Vlanich on the far post. Still Vlanich with the other attempt again, and cleared away by Wise. Goad. You can see Bulleen edging closer as Markovski does get ahead to it, and it's going out for a goal kick.
As you see here, TJ getting a slice out of the first time, just going a little wide. Markovski just getting in the way of it, trying to redirect it, but unfortunately went back at TJ and just couldn't get the right contact she wanted.
Lots of attempts on goal. Still can't find the back of the net. Sandu Dancing with the ball at her feet. A dangerous pass across, but does find Varley.
Well switched.
Out to Papasanis. She's got lots of space ahead. And Danielle Wise.
Numbers forward.
Still Wise. Got Letitia McKenna in support. Tries to find her, and that pass was a little bit too heavy, and McKenna had to work too hard for it in the end. So it is going to be Bulleen coming back the other way, but that ball's straight to Miranda Templeman, and it's going to be South Melbourne needing to build up, play again. So we've got 23 minutes left of normal time in this game, and Alana Yancheski has broken the lines, but she has gone slightly early. I think everybody thought that because she'd found herself in a world of space. So, good call from the lineswoman.
Looks like a good number of fans out here tonight at the home of the Matildas.
Has seen a lot of people out here, and it's always good to have people.
750 seat stadium.
Yeah, to have people turn out for the biggest occasion in the NPL women's calendar. We're going to see a lot of football here throughout the A-League women's season as Melbourne Victory going to be based here as Iamano backs it back to Sandu. Sandu is just, I think Rosie Rogers putting that on a highlight reel as Wise loses the ball at her feet. Now McKenna. McKenna's got space. Tisha McKenna with a long-range effort, but it's calmly collected by Garton. And I think I've seen Elise Callan Knight, Matilda, Melbourne Victory teammate with a lot of the Bulleen players out there. And that ball's beautifully through. Yancheski couldn't get there in time, and Templeman calmly collected. Templeman has been busy in spots, but relatively throughout the majority of the game has had a pretty quiet
She hasn't been tested
evening.
that well, yeah. Which is interesting because Bulleen, like you said, they have the quality to test such a young keeper.
Markowski in a world of space, and that effort was sailing over the crossbar.
So far, all the shots have either been directly at her or out to Timbuktu.
Yeah, and there's certainly been long-range efforts, and exactly what South Melbourne want to restrict Bulleen to. But for Bulleen, they'll probably feel really confident knowing that so many of their goals have come from set-piece opportunities, and they will eventually back themselves to find themselves in those positions. So only one goal down. And with
Still anybody's game, right?
certainly anybody's game. Goad. Zoyce. To Byrne, and stuck in between Clage and Byrne was certainly holding Clage back. An advantage has been played for Danielle Wise in a world of space. Danielle Wise makes it 3-1 for South Melbourne, and that may be the deciding goal. Danielle Wise split through the defence. Alana Byrne was caught on the ball, and all that pressure from South Melbourne have now got themselves a 2-goal cushion courtesy of Danielle Wise. Scored her 15th goal of the NPL Victoria women's season, and that may be the crucial goal.
Oh, look. Big. As you see there, she's missed that ball. But the referee has done an amazing job to allow the ball to play, as Wise finishes the ball in the back of the net there. An amazing first touch there to set herself up for a good finish as well.
And that is why they got Danielle Wise in the off-season. Played for Heidelberg last year, was so prolific. And had it not been for your teammate, Korea Aquino, she probably would have won the Golden Boot this year, Danielle Wise. And now 3-1 up for South Melbourne. All the work to do as Miranda Templeman calmly collects. And that was a yellow card there for Alana Byrne.
Yeah.
As Miranda Templeman finally clears it away, but straight to the feet of Markowski. And that assist by Francesca Iamano, her first of the season, and a timely place to get it as well, because She was quick and alert to that and played it beautifully through for Danielle Wise, right to her advantage, and cool, calm, and collected.
Well executed, even though.
A wise head, Danielle Wise. Trying my best. As Georgiadis is getting more vocal. Zoyce with a nice ball in and cleared away by Papasanis.
And this is why you put people on the posts.
Certainly Little going to send it through, but low and straight at everybody's feet. So Goad switching it out to Zoyce, and too much work for her to do. But it's really just such a difficult position for Bulleen at the moment. 18 minutes left, and we're going to see a substitution here for South Melbourne. And it's going to be the last we've seen from Letitia McKenna this evening. A good game. Maybe wanted to be a little bit more active throughout, but a good performance, especially when your side is 3-1 up. And we're going to see the arrival of Zoe Lambie, who
she had a really good game of keeping that ball, and when she needed to keep it and switch the point of attack, she was definitely the point of difference in the South Melbourne central mid there. Yeah. So it's sad to see her go, but she had a well done 75 minutes.
Young, dangerous opportunity for Young, and always sailing over the crossbar. And Lambie coming on. Another one of those acquisitions this season. Zoe Lambie played in the NPL in Queensland last season. And she was in that team of the season. There's a lot of chaos going on here, and not cleared away. Back to Janczewski, but that ball had gone out of play before Markowski could bring it back in. Now, well, obviously, if you've got, as Georgiadis is, perfectly vocal, we're going to have our vocal sideline man, Oscar Rutherford. Oscar, that goal there from South have certainly built them a really nice cushion. How have you seen any changes since that point?
Well, yeah, it was pretty special to be down here on the sideline next to the South dugout. They erupted the moment Danielle Wise put it into the back of the net. And, of course, that change of Zoe Lambie, it had been in the making for quite a few minutes from South Melbourne as they look to now really solidify their position. It looks as if Bulleen are getting ready to head to their bench as well. Grace Taranto readying to make her way onto the park. So it really has to be all or nothing right now for Bulleen. They've got about 20 minutes left to turn this 2-goal deficit around. It's a big ask, but if anyone can do it, it's the players in this Bulleen team.
Goad breaking forward. Now to Janczewski. Nice ball, nice touch. It's straight at the hands of Miranda Templeman. And Miranda Templeman is going to take her sweet, sweet time to...
It's going to get feisty.
It certainly is going to get feisty, and I think Miranda Templeman is going to maybe employ some of the dark arts, take her time, just to...
Yeah, there's no need. I think South shouldn't change their tactics just because they're up 3-1 right now. Like, what has done such a good job is that they are trying to play and they are trying to go for an additional goal. So there's no point of them slowing it down, or else it might catch them off guard.
Absolutely. And it is Bulleen's 4th consecutive NPL Women's Grand Final. Obviously lost last year against Calder. And they didn't beat Calder again in 2019, so haven't had a good run in the finals, as we've seen the Roger and Grace Taranto makes her way on, which is Roger and Grace Taranto makes her way on, which is makes sense. We've seen Grace Taranto come on to a more attacking role throughout this season as Zoyce able to bring it down. Now really need to push. Taranto sends it across, but cleared away by Klejich, and an untimely slip there from Christensen, which makes it work, but only as far as Goad.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Friend push at least another one player up top.
Dangerous challenge there from Brianne Reid. So it's going to be a free kick for Bulleen. Brianne Reid is certainly walking right at the edge of getting a yellow card.
She's been walking a tightrope since the beginning of the game, I guess.
She certainly has. And I think maybe this will make her really ability to not get carded in the end.
They know when.
Yeah.
Ooh, studs on foot.
Janczewski sends it to the far post and Beck not able to get ahead to it. But that was a really good ball, well placed. Just eluded the head of Katie Beck.
If only she was a little taller.
Yeah, just a little bit. Little.
There you see a little bit of Little's ability in the midfield, and
I think we're going to see her
push forward,
more,
hopefully.
Spend a lot more time in that midfield area. Markovski with a long-range effort, but deflected out. So she does win her side a corner. So 13 minutes, just under 13 minutes in regulation time for Bulleen to make something happen. And no better place than set-piece opportunity, something they've been so good at all season. Paige Zoyce over the ball, got Grace Taranto at the far post alongside Markovski. And goes short to the near post. They're still bobbling. Does find the back of the net.
Foul.
But it is coming back for a foul on Miranda Templeman. It did look momentarily like South Melbourne had allowed and left the door ajar for Bulleen to come back into this game, but free kick has been awarded. Take us through what your thoughts are of that, Christina.
Yeah. You can see there as Templestowe goes up to grab that ball, but she's got a little bump from Beck there. Well spotted by Caitlin there. Caitlin, the referee.
Certainly well spotted there by Caitlin Williams, and it's going to be the last we've seen of Franny Iamano. And we're going to see the arrival of Caitlin Pickett onto the field. But it's going to be Franny Iamano has been with South Melbourne. Was with them last season. It wasn't the season thereafter, but this year his team is rejuvenated. They're playing some really great football. And now they are on the cusp of winning their first title since 2017.
Be careful, don't jinx it.
On the cusp. They might not do it. We're not sure. Never know in football.
Not until the final whistle, right?
Taranto one-on-one against Sandu, and Sandu's done really well and collision at the end. That's what Caitlin Friend will be hoping to get out of Grace Taranto. Just going to quickly ask Oscar down on the touchline there. Are we seeing Aroha Little? Are you seeing her position herself more in the midfield as Bulleen pushes? I'll come back to you really quickly after it looked like Bulleen were going to break away. But Oscar, does it look like you're seeing Little in a more of an advanced position now that Bulleen are down 3-1?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely saw Caitlin Friend call Aroha Little over to have the conversation and told her to push further up the field. So that's very much the plan. Bulleen throwing everything at this now. They've got to risk it all.
It almost looks like she's told both Beattie and Little to get forward, to overload them. Again, like, they've got nothing to lose. You need 2 goals to at least bring in additional time or extra time.
Was knocked forward. Reid, better position over Janczewski. Now Sandu. Christensen down the line. There from Reid. Zoyce. Really need a push here, Bulleen, if they want anything out of this game, to at least push it to extra time. They're going to need a goal very quickly. Vlanic. And knocked away by Varley, but it's going to come back, and these is where Bulleen want the ball. They need to pressure South Melbourne. Little. He's just going to watch it go out of play. So it will be a goal kick for South Melbourne, and they'll take their time every time they got the opportunity just to milk the time, just to slow the pace of the game. They will obviously take that opportunity. Kapisanis.
It's interesting to see South still doing the high press with the top four as we attacked on that line.
Lambie breaking forward. Now Wise got options in the middle. Wise and couldn't find the ball and couldn't find her teammates. As a result of that, Goad 1-on-1 with Westland, and it's going to be a Bulleen throw-in.
Pakua just clarifying the instruction to Arrowhill Little, so it is a move to a back three for Bulleen, which is why we saw so much space there on the for South Melbourne BD. Goad pushing further up and more centrally, particularly in possession and when it's in the South Melbourne half. So a lot of ground being asked to be covered by Arrowhill Little, but that's the risk that you've got to take at this point for Bulleen.
Thank you, Oscar, for that. That's why we've got someone down there to make sure to see what we can't see. As that ball's going out for another throw-in for Bulleen. Just need to find one opportunity, and then the pressure is really on for South Melbourne. Varley sends it away, but only as far as Vlanich. Now Zoyce. Jancheski got Taranto, but still Jancheski finds her way back inside and knocked away from her feet, and Varley takes it away from the feet of Templeman. Now Christensen. And Little charging in, but she's giving the ball straight back to South Melbourne and Miranda Templeman.
Here they are, delaying the game.
Taking your sweet time to figure out which side would you like to kick it
left,
from.
Right, left, right.
I feel like you guys experienced that a little bit last week as well.
It's a pet peeve of mine because at the end of the day, players just want to play. So get the ball going.
Zoyce has to hold off South Melbourne players. Switched out to Sandu. Christensen now. Challenge in from Zoyce. It's going to be another South Melbourne throw-in.
As you see, Caitlin Friend is instructing Markovsky to push even higher so that at least they have two extremely high as outlets for them to get forward.
Reed now knocks it to Sandu and misses it. And Little down the line to Markovsky. Can only get a flick on, and it's gone straight out for another South Melbourne throw-in. And this is...
Clock is ticking.
Clock is certainly ticking, and it's looking like it's not in the favour of Bulleen. It hasn't been in their favour for a large portion of this second half, but when you're 2 goals down, and if you're trying to win it in the 90 minutes, I think maybe that's gone out of the plan, just trying to get 2 goals, just one, to get them back into this game.
And you can see they're kind of panicking a little bit.
Now Jancheski, Markovsky, and it's the ping pong everywhere, but only as far as Zoyce. Jancheski back to Zoyce. And still Jancheski finds her way onto it and does get an attempt on goal, but it's deflected away. So will be another goal kick for South Melbourne.
Should have been a corner, but Caitlin Williams missed that one, but we all missed something.
Deflection and a challenge there from Jancheski on Reed, and those tussles going on, and it's gone in the favour of the defender, so will be a South Melbourne free kick.
You can see that they're really pushing towards this end, and the frustration is starting to kick in.
It's been an interesting afternoon for the South Melbourne supporter base, and the club missed out in the under-19s final just before this game. Heidelberg winning 3-2 in the end. But they might win the ultimate prize in the NPL women's final if they can hold on here. Westland done well to get away. Still Westland got Christensen through the middle. Finds her. Got space out there. And missed by Pickett. But Pickett still got opportunity. Sends it back to Lambie. Does get a touch. And Lambie makes it 4-1. And that certainly seals it here for South Melbourne. It looked chaotic, but it ended up in the back of the net. The substitute, Zoe Lambie, has made it 4-1, but it's all but done here.
It really started with Westland there, dribbling down that left line and attacking at speed, making the right decision of not necessarily passing inside right away, continuing that, and then a player. And Pickett, I don't know, missing that first opportunity, but hey.
She found her teammate after anyway, so that's all that matters. It is 4-1 here. I don't think anybody would have predicted that being the scoreline to close out the season. But South Melbourne have capitalised on those big opportunities that they've had. All started in the first half with Christensen and Sandhu. And in the second half, some great work there. We're going to see a substitution here. As Sailor Christensen makes her way off to be placed by Yana Lawson, who was in the starting 11 last week. Got South Melbourne to this point, and now she's on to celebrate what looks to be going to be the crown jewel of their season, to win the NPL Victoria Women's title. Obviously, still some time left to go. We've seen some wilder things happen in football. Do feel we're right on the edge of...
it's a bit safer now.
It's a bit safer now. When it was 2-1, wasn't quite sure, but 4-1 might be enough there.
You can't fault Bulleen for their efforts towards this last portion, though. You can see it's slipping away, and the efforts are still there.
That ball sent forward by Vlanic. Varley out to Sandhu. Lawson sent down the line and it's gone out of play. Zoyce. Little down the line, and it's going out for and it's going to be 4 more minutes of additional time in this game. Janczewski, now Markovski. Still Markovski and Lawson back there. And it's going out for a South throw-in. Beck, now Vlanic.
Looking for that long ball up and over the top.
Straight to the path of Janczewski, but tipped away by Reed.
Can they get a consolation goal?
Certainly, that is the hope. That ball sent in and was never in play. So it is going to be
some tired legs out there.
It's Miranda Templeman just enjoying a bit of a juggling show there for South Melbourne as they're just trying to cruise their way to the final whistle as that ball's played forward for Young, and it's going to be Miranda Templeman taking her sweet, sweet time. But it's been a thrilling afternoon here for South Melbourne.
We said we wanted goals.
Exactly, and
sure enough, we've gotten goals.
And that is what we've got as Lawson makes her way forward. Got Wise up ahead. Still Lawson. Got Lambie in the middle as well. Lawson's just going to take her time and find the corner. Finally beats Little, but she's just going to waste some more time. And it is their prerogative, South Melbourne, as they try to see out this game. That ball is now sent away, and there's not too long left to go in this game to close it out. Varley. Now Klage to the feet of Lambie, knocks it into a nice path for Lambie. Got Wise in the middle and does find Wise, but cleared off the line. And Danielle Wise denied her second goal of the game. Janchevsky breaking forward. Got Godin, long-range effort there, and an unconventional save by Miranda Templeman. Falls to Taranto, but she's run out of space, and it's actually stayed in. So Templeman taking way too long, and a consolation goal for Bulleen. Is just lucky that they're up 4-1, but Miranda Templeman was taking way too much time, and it looked like
this last 5 minutes or so, you can see South has been a little bit lax in situations like that, and Templestowe definitely did not see the player off the field coming back onto the field.
She certainly didn't, and I do wonder, should her teammates have alerted her, but it's not going to matter because South Melbourne have established a very comfortable
2-4 lead.
Absolutely. And we're not too far away from the final whistle. But you see Danielle Wise still hunting to try and score a second goal. But it's not going to be. And it's run out of time for Bulleen, but that's all it is here. For South Melbourne, the winners of the NPL Victoria Women's Competition. An incredible season for them and Georgiades. 4-2 winners in the end over Bulleen, but a fantastic effort for South Melbourne. A great season of football, so many new players and so many old faces, getting them here. Akeisha Sandhu, Taylor Christensen, slotting in those early goals in this first half. And then in the second half, they had to weather the storm of Bulleen, but they got there in the end, and Danielle Wise made it 3-1. And then the substitute, Zoe Lambie, was right there to put the cherry on the cake. But a fantastic effort here for South Melbourne, the winners of the 2023 NPL Victoria Women's Competition. After so many months, so many games, they get to this point and they get the ultimate prize. How would those players be feeling down there?
Yeah, depends on which side you're on.
South Melbourne.
Look, they'd be thrilled. This is what you play for, and being able to play on an amazing field in front of a decent crowd and topping your season off with a win. There's unfortunately only one team that gets to do that, and they would be on top of the moon right now.
Absolutely, and South Melbourne wasn't the smoothest sailing throughout the whole season. They weren't in the top 4 the entire time. They certainly had to weather some things, but it all really culminated in that final game of the season, beating Burundara, setting them onto a good path. They got themselves into the grand final, played Burundara again, got the win there, but to beat Bulleen is such a team that's so strong, so many quality players, but for South Melbourne, all that hard work from Georgiades came in midway through last season. has set this team up so well with so many new faces, but with a balance of some South Melbourne players like Franny Iamano and Akeisha Sandu, who know what it means to be South Melbourne players.
No, it's really well done, well contested, and they've done an amazing job. George has done a great job of bringing the team together to bring it home, essentially.
No, he has done a phenomenal job, and you can see all the... Let's go! You can see all the celebrations here of the South Melbourne players. Fantastic effort. A fantastic effort for South Melbourne. And so many players who were there for that moment. The Nike FC Cup last season, I thought that was a great moment, beating Heidelberg. And they obviously didn't win the Nike FC Cup in the end, but it's been such a good run and a good turn of form for the club and this women's team, which were in the past for so long, so dominant, back in a grand final after 5 years. And to replay of this 2018 grand final, and they get the upper hand. We've got Oscar Rutherford down on the touchline. Oscar, take us through what you're seeing down on the touchline.
Yeah, it's a pretty extraordinary experience for Kua. The elation that came through for players and the coaching staff. The game was pretty much wrapped up with a little while to go. Those 2 goals in the second half really came at a crucial time when the pressure was mounting and Bulleen, you felt like, were really coming back into the game. It's a deserved win. South Melbourne with a better team tonight. It was a really enjoyable match as well. Bulleen put up a really great fight, and it's more heartbreak for Caitlin Friend and her team. But for South Melbourne, a hugely important and impressive result, I think. And as we continue our communications for Kua, I think a really fantastic night and a great show of NPL women's football.
It certainly is, and we're going to
continue. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic final it was a very fitting end to the NPLW season that we've had this year. Can we please have a big round of applause for FC Bulleen Lions and South Melbourne, who put on a great show for us today. A big thank you as well to our sponsors, including major sponsor Chanel. Chanel's name is synonymous with Victorian football, supporting the games at all levels, including as the naming rights partner of the NPL finals since 2019. 18 years ago, as an independent property developer, Chanel specialises in delivery of innovative, high-quality residential and commercial property solutions with Melbourne and surrounding areas. So thanks again to Chanel for your long-term support. Here with us today to present the awards, we have Football Victoria President Antonella Kerr, Frank Sesso from Chanel, and Kate Jakowitz. Firstly, we'd like to thank the match officials without who this game would not have been possible. Thank you to our referees, referee Caitlin Williams, assistant referees Daphne Gunaris and Denise Horner, fourth official Danielle Anderson, and fifth official Didak Lee. Please come up and receive their medals. We would like to now award the Player of the Match, as voted by today's match officials. It's with great pleasure that I announce the Player of the Match from today's final, South Numbers number 9, Taylor Christensen. We would like to now present the runner-up medals for the runner-up team today. FC Bulleen Lions have had a fantastic season all year, finishing as premiers. And although they fell short today, we'd like to congratulate the team on all the achievements that you've been able to undertake in 2023. I'll call up each player one by one. So number 1, Gabrielle Garden. Number 6, Paige Zoyce. 11, Aurora Little. Number 12, Mary Brown. Number 14, Lani Johnson. Number 15, Natalie Govich. Number 16, Beatrix Doe. Number 17, Maya Makowski. Number 19, Tyler Blanich. Number 20, Katie Beck. Number 21, Rosie Roger. Number 22, Jessica Young. Number 23, Alana Yanchevsky. Number 24, Grace Taranto. Number 25, Emily Shields. And their captain, number 8, Alana Byrne. I'd like to invite the coach, Caitlin Friend, to come up and have a few words and accept the runner-up pendant.
First of all, I'd like to thank my amazing staff. I think we just had such a successful year, and that's because I have the best staff ever, so thank you guys very much. I'd like to mention a guy that is at our club. He's our director, Dave Delmonico. He is the only reason the female program at Bulleen is what it is, and you are incredible. and I am so grateful to be at the club with you. So just a big thank you to you, Dave DeMonico. Girls, you were tremendous tonight. I think we were a little bit unlucky. I'm so proud of all of you, and I'm very proud to be your coach, so well done. Good job. South Melbourne, congratulations. Enjoy it. Hopefully I can enjoy it one day soon. But yes, well done, congrats, enjoy. And thank you to all the fans out there and everyone that supported Football Victoria. I appreciate everything, so thank you all.
And now for your 2023 Chanel NPL Victoria Women's Champions. I'll call out each of the players one by one. Starting with number 5, Sophie Papatsanis. Number 7, Betty Michael. Number 9, the player of the match, Taylor Christensen. Number 10, Georgia Candilas. Number 11, Yana Lawson. Number 12, Zoe Lambie. Number 14, Marsha Westland. Number 15, Caitlin Pickett. Number 17, Dragana Klajic. Number 18, Letitia McKenna. Number 20, Brianne Reid. Number 24, Leah Varley. Number 25, Francesca Iamano. Number 28, Emma Olsen. Number 50, Marina Templeman. And now I'll call up the co-captains for South Melbourne. Number 4, Danielle Wise, and number 8, Akeisha Sandu. I'd like to invite up the coach of South Melbourne, George Georgiadis, to come up and say a few words and accept the Champions Trophy.
Geez, where do we start? What an amazing year. 2 teams, Caitlin, full of respect of you girls, I think throughout the year. Fair to say, probably the best team in the league. But obviously, the league was, a bit full on when you're talking about obviously how close it was and that. But you can just see that obviously they won the minor premiership. Calder won the Nike Cup, and we're here winning this one. So really proud. Just from the group to obviously the board, we really appreciate everything. Theo, you've been amazing. Gabby. Everyone's been great at this club, and the ambition's obviously there. You can just tell year on year they want to get something out of it, and I think really proud that we've been able to do that this year for this magnificent club. So well done. To the coaching staff, from obviously the S&C coaches, Brad, Shinky, Lucas, Suriyama, you've been outstanding, mate. We had to make some decisions today. And Justin, mate, you've been amazing, man. I think you made me fall in love with the game a few years ago, so well done, mate. You've been a big part of that. To all of our families, my beautiful wife, Tula, the kids are here as well, Katja and Anastasia. You've got to put up with a lot of that pain, win, lose or draw, but thank you for your support, and the crowd in general has been amazing. Now, to this amazing group, 13 months ago, this team, I think, finished, equal third last, whatever it was. But we really went out and made sure that, we wanted to obviously achieve something this year. I know we fell short on a couple of things, but I'm just so proud of every one of you girls, and I've said this, mate, you deserve this. more than anything. Be very proud because this is a memory you'll take with you. To the FFE, well done. Great venue here. Really happy to play here every week, to be honest with you, but I reckon Lakeside's as good. So, well done, everybody. Well done, girls. Well done. Thank you so much.
And now we'll hand the trophy and the pendant to the winning team. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the 2023 Shuttle NPL Victoria Final. Congratulations to South Melbourne for winning.
switch it up from here, I guess.
We'll have a recording. This will have to
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Commentary and everything else is in there.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh, it'll be on the picture.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
We were doing so good.
Yeah. No, you got to do it. I was really happy with that. Yeah. Yep.